have with us on the CA chat CA Arpit Kabra, Regional Council Member, WIRC. Hi Arpit, how are you today?
Absolutely wonderful, and I'm feeling so excited about this. What a stall you put up at Wakao, yeah? Wonderful.
Thank you so much. How have the first 2 days been at WCOA? You know, we've seen a great influx of people. There are thousands of people coming in and appreciating so many things. What's the feedback that you've seen?
The first 2 days, only one word, powerful. I mean, we've been talking about incredible India. We've been talking about, the third richest man of the world was on our stage. An accounting gathering hosted by ICI, and we get someone like Mr. Adani to speak. India is coming on the stage. Yeah, it is powerful. Only one word I would say, powerful.
That's the best way to describe it, I think. Building trust, enabling sustainability. As an accountant and, being in the fraternity, what are accounting professionals doing? What is the role that accounting professionals play in enabling sustainability across the globe?
Building trust, when you say, I'll give you only one example. When the chairman Nafra comes and talks and says, we understand auditing is different than investigations. We understand audits are a process. You cannot, as an auditor, 5 years down the line, go on the hindsight and say this should have happened, this would have happened. Or it is an ongoing exercise, So there's clear distinction coming in an economy, like a growing economy like the country, India. And when people are talking about it, that's yes, this is now integrity and responsibility, the accountability that even auditors are taking up. I think that's phenomenal. Yeah. So when stakeholders come and appreciate that, when they recognize, look, this is what is happening. Here we are standing up and saying, yes, sir. Exceptions are there, but largely the entire accounting domain, the ecosystem, is working towards one thing, that is building trust. And we are doing that so well. You see today, the ICA lounge here. It talks about every space, every sphere. It talks about the audit assurance standards. It talks about taxes. It talks about forensics. It talks about everything. But the one and foremost that it talks about is ethics. That's so strong in our DNA. So building trust is there. Now coming to sustainability, you know what? Who would ensure? I'll give you the worst part. If I were to tell you sustainability, imagine your life without a toothbrush. Could you have that? No? You have to have that plastic in your toothbrush. How do you get rid of that? It's as complex, it's as difficult as doing that, But yes, when we talk about sustainability, what accountants are doing is, if I have to approve a budget, say for a company who's doing a project in building, construction of a building, I would only approve the cost if there are LED lamps there. There is no CFL, there is no fluorescence, there is nothing. Then I will see whether it is solar empowered. I would see that it is EV enabled, electric chargers are there. I would see there is water recycling. There is all of those stuff, My accountants will only pass those budgets when these tick the boxes are there. And therefore, these are small little steps towards sustainability. And one biggest win for us, ICI is forming the first ever social standards in this country with SEBI. The SEBI has, SEBI and ICI working together and making sure that we set up the first ever social standards for this country. And this will be applicable to all the corporates. And when corporates are the leaders here, they have to drive the sustainability, and they will do it. I'm sure we'll see a life without a plastic toothbrush very soon.
That's amazing. That's actually very moving and so insightful. And more power to you and more power to ICI to be able to, achieve that and, go even much further. But this is a great initiative, and I think it is high time that we take a stand on this as, different communities, not only the accounting fraternity, but I think everyone across the globe. Coming to technology, when it comes to sustainability as well, now there are some sort of enablements that ICI is doing, but what about technology? What role is technology playing in enabling this and for the other things that we want to achieve in the near future?
So if I were to talk about technology, the first thing you will set foot in Wakao, you'll find a robot. He'll take you everywhere. Yeah. So somewhere I've got rid of some manpower where I could have some leakage in my cost. You know, these manpower would come or not, I don't know. Whether they would give me access or not, I don't know. Whether they would take the instructions what I'm telling them, greet the host, greet the guest in the way that I want. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I don't know the worst part whether they are physically there or not.
Yeah.
Because from any part they could just do an entry through their app saying that I'm here, my meter starts, I have to pay them.
Right.
But this robot is there. One. Second, the moment you'll step in the pavilion, you'll see everywhere, including your own booth. Everywhere there's technology. Everywhere people are talking about something which is going exciting. Anything which is repetitive, anything which is monotonous, automate them.
Yeah.
Is the funda, is the principle that's gonna rule the next decade, I would say. Technology, ICI, therefore, the wonderful part that ICI has done is set up a DLH, the Digital Learning Hub, the SSP portal. These two things have really changed the way everything would happen. And look at yesterday, there was a Shark Tank that was done with ICI and CA, Australia, New Zealand. We polled through an app. There was absolutely no manipulation. These judges would have did their deliberation, everything. The audience was neutral. No one could influence that decision. Yeah, everything through the app. You entered through the app. In fact, when these people wanted to give an award, they said we'll give you some complimentary, the lucky winners. So there was no hand which picked up a lottery. There was no one who took up coupons. So no paper. Sustainability again. It was app. App mein whoever participated, whoever polled, whoever voted got eligible to be part of the lucky draw. Technology played its role, picked up 5 people, they won the award. They are anyone on this planet. They are not your people, Vasudha. Someone you've told in my ears, Arpit ji, please give him an award. That never happened. I told Arvind, do this. That never happened. I told anyone in Tally, do this. Cannot happen. System will do its own way. I think in India, when we are growing at a pace like this, we need to get rid of manual intervention.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And for example, there's a sports zone over here. Wherever there is manual intervention, there is manipulation. People we've given them 6 balls to play, but they would come, ensure because there are people there. Yeah. But if I have a system which says, okay, one person at a time, go in, go out, I am sorted, But I have to put such a big manpower to ensure that only everyone gets equal chance. In a country like ours where population is booming, where professionals are booming, and we're seeing a total different horizon of businesses coming up. You see the startup, you see the MSME, there's a lot of awareness. We need technology. We need to be unbiased, we need to be impartial. Our resources, which are few, has to be allocated in a very systematic manner that can never be done manually. It has to be through technology, and therefore anything, and I always repeat that, anything repetitive, anything monotonous, automate. Do that. And I'm sure Tally is doing that. I'm really very happy. I see a lot of stuff happening on this. And I'm looking forward to every now and then to change colors. I want you to do something more different, bigger, and substantially bring in a little bit of technology, integrate with some more stuff. I'm sure we're gonna do something wonderful, yeah.
Great, thank you so much. Revolutionizing, bringing in automation that we've not seen before. That's something I think people are coming in and seeing at WCOA this time. Automation is something that we want to look forward to, and I think people are open to adapting also. There are business owners and there are businesses, corporations, large or small, who are trying to adopt technology, who are open to it, but they face certain challenges. So there are about 95% in a recent survey that said about 95% organizations that are still facing a challenge in adoption of technology, and the main reason being the cost of investment. What do you think are some other challenges, and what are your recommendations or suggestions, advice for such corporations and organizations?
What I see the biggest challenge is the fear of losing, the fear of going wrong.
Yeah.
Something which is going like this, rock steady already. I want to take a plunge, I want to go up. But with technology, I could go, I know that. But I don't want, I have that fear that it should not dip down. Believe me, with technology, you may go wrong, but that will be a temporary dip. And when a tiger goes back, it only goes back to take the biggest of the leaps. Yeah. So I think technology is that leap, that little bit of maybe behind that you need to go, correct yourself. Some things that you've been doing, some processes that you've set in, I think they need to be tweaked, so that the system can understand. And once the system understands, then probably you don't have to repeat it, you don't have to do anything. It will automatically explain to anyone, everyone who has that small little IQ. You need not be an Einstein to do it, you need not be anyone topper to do it. You just have to be a normal individual. And believe me, today the World Congress of Accountants has shown, today you'll find not only CAs here, you'll find CPAs, you'll find ACCAs, you'll find CS, company secretary, MBAs, BCom people, everyone, who's who, they're just thinking of being a professional. They want to adopt ethics, they want to do something incredible, they want to do something value add. Technology will help, it will be an enabler for all of them. You need not have a degree for that. You just have to accept it. You just have to accept one thing, that yes, there could be a dip. We could have a setback. That would be temporary. Come back. Because the system will auto-correct. It's like that. It's like the universe. It's like nature, you know. It would have maybe a fall about here and there, but it is only for your benefit. And once that happens, believe me, you are here to take that forward lunge, that forward leap. Technology is an enabler, absolutely. We need to embrace it. If you're not, Charles Darwin, the holy soul of Charles Darwin would come and haunt you. Survival of the fittest. If you're not fit, if you're not adopting technology, very hard that you will survive. And there are so many examples. I think Tally is one of them, Zoho, so many other examples. They've accepted technology and they've gone to where not. So I think you need to do that. And believe me, it's a dream come true for us to see CAs having embraced technology in setting up these wonderful lounges. I would not call them stalls because they're wonderful. You know, be it small, be it big, whatever. They're doing it massive, they're doing it amazing. And that's where we say we have arrived. Here we are, looking India at the $1 trillion economy that the Prime Minister Honorable Narendra Ji Modi is talking about. And we are walking, we are there, standing behind him, shoulder to shoulder, hand to hand, building trust, enabling sustainability.
Amazing. That was so great. I mean, I think we are at the right path, and it's events like these, you know, that are upcoming, revolutionary, that where we get to see that, you know, it's not a dream, it's not a vision, it's something that's turning into reality very, very soon. Your advice to budding CAs?
Do not stop learning. The biggest thing that I see now for young chartered accountants, not that I'm a senior one, I'm a young too, but what I see from my experience of being in the regional council for 6 years, having toured largely the entire country, giving lectures, interacting with so many people, students, everyone. Chartered accountant, once a chartered accountant, it doesn't mean that you are a go-getter, you are already a set professional. I think that's just a degree to say that, you know, now people will look up to you. And when Spider-Man says, you know, in the revolutionary dialogues, with more power comes higher responsibilities. That is the statement that applies to a new chartered accountant. You know, you've got power, but at the same time you get responsibility. So therefore, experience is something that you will have to, you cannot buy it out, you'll have to earn it. You'll have to learn. Do not stop learning. Even if it is 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, give yourself good 5 years. Learn with someone. Learn through someone. Try and create success. Try and create a career through someone. You wouldn't get it. If there's a godfather or someone, you could come up automatically or do something really out of the box. But if not, you need to learn. You need to learn. And when I talk about learning, that's only one thing that you should do. You know, technology will come in. You know, all of these new concepts would come in. All of out-of-box thinking would come in. Experience would kick in. Probably the chances of failing would be very less, and the chances of falling into wrong hands, doing something which is not relevant anymore in this ecosystem, will be very less. So we should try and focus that. World Congress has shown you here. You can earn from here in dollars, you can earn from here in euros, you can earn from here ruble, you can earn from here in dirhams, wherever. You can do anything. But just that, go beyond, learn, embrace technology, and most importantly, stay ethical.
Amazing, and such great advice for, you know, aspiring and budding CAs who want to, you know, follow this path. What's the biggest CA myth you've ever heard?
CA days are boring.
On average, how many hours do you work in a day?
14 to 16 hours a day.
Wow.
I do that.
As a CA, what is the first thing you do in the morning?
I hug my daughter actually, but as a CA, if you say, look up to my WhatsApps.
In one word, why did you choose the profession you're in?
I believe the profession chooses you. You do not choose a profession. For me, coming from the background that I have, I don't know if this answer would qualify in your quick fire, but I was a science student. I was doing IIT. I was somewhere else. I was learning. I was in love with physics. I could do wonders with physics. But I don't know what happened. I fell in love with accounting because it's because it's magical, you know. The balance it creates, double accounting, you know. कुछ भी यहाँ पर करोगे, impact दिखेगा, and you cannot go unnoticed. Anyone and everyone with little bit of knowledge can catch it, and that's magical. And that is what even fired me to be something like that. And therefore, I do investigations, I do forensics as much as I can because I understand the magic. Understand the language that this concept talks about the accounting. You have to fall in love with that. Fall in love with anything and you'll appreciate it. And you can do wonders out of it.
In one word, describe your experience, your personal experience at WCOA till right now.
Splendid.
What is one superpower that only accountants have?
Attestations.
Thank you so much. Anything else that you want to add?
A chartered accountant being interviewed like this, well done, good job. Everyone over here, the entire ecosystem that has evolved, no one thought a chartered accountant would do all of this, right? Good that we've got people like you who are enabling this to happen. And this should happen because we've been doing some incredible jobs here. You know, we've been doing, as I said, the superpower attestation. We are driving the trust for so many people, so many stakeholders that look, this is correct. Look, this is what these numbers are fine. In any event, in anything that could happen, if there is a death, if there is emergency, if there's anything, we have the power to certify, yes, this is right, this is wrong. The court of law appreciates that. This superpower comes very difficult and we should celebrate it. Yeah, and people like you, technologies, and have ensured that we are celebrating that, right? And more power to each one of you. Everyone who's out there listening to us, believe me, there's a growth story for every one of us. Just that you have to stand up, raise your hands. There will be someone to take you up. Yeah, believe in what you do, trust yourself, give power to yourself. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's so inspiring. Thank you so much for joining us.